Have you ever wondered if the people you meet or the relationships you build are all just random? Or is there something bigger at play? What if I told you that God might have intentionally placed you in someone's life for a purpose, one you may not fully understand yet? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into the powerful idea that you have been placed in certain people's lives with intention. Whether it's friends, family, or even strangers you cross paths with, there might be a divine purpose behind every relationship you form. Stick around because I'm going to share some thought-provoking ideas, real-life examples, and even some calculations to help you understand just how intentional your role could be in someone else's life. By the end, you might start seeing your relationships and your place in this world differently. Main point 1. The concept of divine timing. Let's dive into the fascinating concept of divine timing. A mysterious force that suggests every encounter, every moment, could be part of a larger orchestrated plan. Picture this. You're strolling down a busy street, maybe in a rush, when you accidentally bump into someone. A quick apology turns into a longer conversation, and before you know it, you're gaining valuable advice, discovering a new opportunity, or even making a lifelong friend. It might feel like pure coincidence, but what if it's not? What if instead it's a carefully orchestrated moment in the grand design of life? Divine timing suggests that events in our lives unfold in a way that aligns perfectly with a larger, often unseen purpose. Take a simple example. You're sitting in a coffee shop, sipping your usual latte, when you start chatting with the barista. Over the course of several visits, a bond forms. Perhaps it turns into a deep friendship or even leads to a business connection that changes the trajectory of your career. Now think about the odds of that happening. Every day, hundreds of people pass by that same coffee shop. But for some reason, you were there at that very moment. Let's crunch the numbers for a bit. Imagine the average person visits a coffee shop 3 times a week, and the shop sees 100 customers each day. Statistically, the chance of having a meaningful interaction with anyone at that shop seems slim. But you showed up at just the right time, and so did the person you were meant to meet. The odds of this aren't as random as they appear. According to divine timing, this interaction might be exactly what you needed, or what the other person needed, to steer both of you towards something greater. So what does this mean? Divine timing isn't just about coincidences or luck. It's about recognizing the puzzle pieces that fit together in a way that makes perfect sense only in hindsight. Every choice you make, every moment you experience, could be divinely placed to guide you toward your destiny. Whether it's a job opportunity, a chance meeting, or a lesson learned in the most unexpected way, these moments are part of a much larger plan. God, or whatever higher power you believe in, may be strategically positioning you at the right place at the right time to align your path with someone else's. This can happen in big transformative ways or in smaller, quieter moments that seem insignificant at first. But in the grand scheme, each moment is a stepping stone, a part of the greater picture being revealed as you go. By embracing divine timing, you open yourself up to the possibility that everything is connected, and every moment holds the potential for something meaningful. Main point 2. Relationships have purpose. Relationships often feel like an intricate web of connections, some of which we deeply cherish, while others seem to push us out of our comfort zones. But what if we started viewing these relationships through a different lens, not as mere coincidences or distractions, but as essential parts of our personal evolution? At the heart of this perspective is the idea that every person we encounter, whether for a fleeting moment or a lifetime, has a purpose. Think back to that one individual who didn't let you coast through life. They challenged you in ways that were uncomfortable, even jarring. It might have been a mentor who asked tough questions, a family member who voiced concerns, or even a friend whose honesty stung. In those moments, it was easy to feel like they were obstacles rather than allies. But looking back, you can likely see that they were instrumental in shaping who you are today. Consider the discomfort you felt during those challenging moments. Growth rarely happens in ease. When we're pushed out of our comfort zones, it's often because we're being invited to grow, to refine our character, or to develop a new perspective. Relationships like these act as catalysts for transformation. The tension they create is similar to the pressure that forms diamonds. Without those challenges, you might never have discovered your resilience, your true potential, or your ability to navigate adversity. This is where the idea of divine purpose or spiritual alignment comes in. Many believe that the people who come into our lives are not random but serve a higher purpose. Whether it's to teach us something about ourselves, guide us toward a breakthrough, or help us find deeper meaning, God or the universe may place these individuals in our paths to help us become better versions of ourselves or to fulfill a mission we might not even be aware of yet. Take, for instance, the concept of a mentor. This person doesn't just pass on knowledge. They often hold up a mirror to our flaws and potential. They challenge us, sometimes even making us question our direction. At first, their guidance may feel like criticism, but in retrospect, it becomes clear that their role was to push us toward growth, not comfort. Even in the most difficult relationships, the ones that cause pain or confusion, there's often a hidden lesson. These people may trigger something within us that needs healing, or they may reflect something about ourselves that we've been avoiding. Rather than seeing them as obstacles, we can choose to view them as opportunities for self-discovery and growth. So the next time you encounter someone who seems difficult or challenges you in unexpected ways, ask yourself, what is this relationship here to teach me? The answer may not always be obvious, but the journey of self-discovery can be more powerful than you think. Main point 3, the impact you have on others. Let's take a moment to flip the script. Often, we focus on how certain people seem to appear in our lives just when we need them most, offering advice, support, or even just a smile. But what if we told you that you too have been placed in someone's life for a reason? It's not just about the blessings you receive. It's also about the impact you can have on others. Imagine this scenario. You're going about your day and you offer a random compliment to a stranger or give a piece of advice to a friend. Little do you know, that small interaction might be exactly what that person needed to hear at that moment. Maybe they were struggling with self-doubt, questioning their worth, or battling a difficult situation. In that instant, your words or kindness could offer them the encouragement and clarity they needed to keep going. That seemingly insignificant exchange could turn their whole day around, reminding them that they're not alone and that they matter. This phenomenon isn't just limited to compliments or advice. Simply being present in someone's life can have a profound impact. Have you ever been the listening ear someone needed during a tough time? Or maybe without even realizing it, you've modeled resilience, patience, or kindness in a way that encouraged someone to embrace those qualities in themselves. The fact is, we all have the ability to impact others, whether we're aware of it or not. It's important to remember that God's purpose for us isn't just about receiving help from others. It's also about how we contribute to the lives of those around us. You might be positioned in someone's life as the spark that ignites change in them. Perhaps you're the one who brings light into their darkest moment or the encouragement they need to pursue their dreams. Through your actions, you might be the catalyst for their personal transformation, guiding them toward growth, whether spiritually, emotionally, or even professionally. Think about the ripple effect of your presence. One small act of kindness, a word of wisdom, or a moment of support can set off a chain reaction that positively impacts someone's life. And just as that person's life is changed by you, they in turn may go on to affect someone else in ways that are equally life-altering. This cycle continues, spreading hope, positivity, and growth. So next time you wonder if you're making a difference, remember, just as God places people in your path, He's placed you in others' lives for a reason. You might never fully see the full extent of your impact, but rest assured, you are shaping the world in ways you can't even imagine. Main point 4, trusting the process. How do you know you're exactly where you need to be? Especially when you're stuck in the middle of a difficult relationship, it's easy to wonder if things are going wrong or if there's some sort of mistake at play. In those moments, it can feel like nothing makes sense, and you might question why things are happening the way they are. But here's an essential truth. God doesn't make mistakes. When you're in a tough spot, it can seem as though there's no clear path forward. But remember, even in chaos, there's purpose. There's a bigger picture being drawn, one that you may not fully understand yet. Trusting that there's a plan unfolding is a powerful act of faith. It doesn't always feel like it in the moment, but every experience is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life. Every challenge is part of a grand design. Consider relationships that have been rocky, maybe with a family member, a close friend, or a colleague. Think of someone you've known for years, someone with whom you've had ups and downs. At times, these relationships may have felt like burdens rather than blessings. Yet, when you look back, you might realize that these very people helped shape you into the person you are today. Perhaps that difficult person in your life taught you how to be more patient. Maybe they tested your ability to forgive or challenged you to understand someone else's perspective. You see, life's toughest moments often come wrapped in messy packages, but inside there are invaluable lessons. The struggles we face with others can be opportunities to grow in virtues like empathy, resilience, and grace. What if instead of seeing these relationships as obstacles, you viewed them as divine tools for growth? Think of how someone's actions or words may have forced you to confront your own weaknesses. Maybe they brought out a part of you that needed healing. Or perhaps they were placed in your life to teach you something important, something you might not have learned otherwise. It's possible that this person was sent into your world to help you evolve in ways you couldn't have predicted. In the same way, it's essential to trust that God uses every relationship, good, bad, or challenging, to mold you for a higher purpose. Even if things don't make sense now, the lessons you're learning will one day align with your greater journey. The key is to trust that there's a plan unfolding, even when it's not clear. Every person and experience is a chapter in the story of your growth, and when you look back, you'll see how each chapter was necessary to get you to where you need to be. Main point 5. The power of influence and legacy. Every interaction you have with someone carries the potential to create a ripple effect far beyond the initial exchange. Whether it's a word of encouragement, a small act of kindness, or simply offering your presence in someone's time of need, the impact of your actions can stretch far beyond what you can see. The beauty of this is that you may never fully realize the depth of your influence. It can echo through time, shaping decisions, behaviors, and even the mindset of people you may never meet. In essence, each connection is like planting a seed that could grow into something far larger than you ever imagined. Consider the role of everyday conversations. These moments are far from insignificant. A chance remark made in passing can spark a transformation. For example, you might casually encourage a friend to pursue their passion, something they've been hesitating on for years. What begins as a few words of support could lead them to take that brave step towards their dreams. That decision, though it may seem small at the time, could set off a chain reaction that shapes their future, and through them, the lives of countless others. They might go on to inspire or mentor others, paying forward the encouragement they once received. This is where the concept of legacy comes in. Legacy isn't just about grand achievements or fame. It's about the quiet, enduring influence you leave in the lives of those around you. Every time you impact someone's life positively, you are shaping a ripple that extends into their future interaction. That small moment of influence may come full circle, with your wisdom or kindness guiding someone who, in turn, passes it on to others. It's like planting a tree whose branches stretch out over generations, long after the seed was first planted. Imagine a friend goes through a tough breakup. In their most vulnerable moment, you offer a listening ear and some words of wisdom. Though you may not think much of it, your words of comfort give them the strength to heal and move forward. Months later, they find themselves in a similar position, comforting another friend who is going through a painful time. The cycle continues, and your influence travels far beyond your initial conversation, impacting lives you may never even be aware of. Ultimately, the power of influence lies not in how many people you can reach directly, but in how your actions echo through the lives of others. By showing up at the right moment, offering support, or simply being yourself, you contribute to a greater narrative that transcends time. Each positive interaction has the potential to create an unbroken chain of influence, one that leaves a legacy that will live on in the hearts and minds of those you touch. Main point 6. Relationships teach us to trust and let go. Some relationships in life can challenge our faith, particularly when it feels like we're losing control. In these moments, we may feel an intense need to understand every detail, every reason behind a situation. It's hard to see the bigger picture when we're too focused on the immediate pain or confusion. Yet, often the lesson isn't in having all the answers, but in trusting that God has a greater purpose beyond what we can immediately comprehend. These experiences, though difficult, can lead to profound personal growth. Take, for example, a time when you were frustrated or confused about a relationship, maybe a friendship that seemed to fade for no apparent reason, or a colleague who suddenly distanced themselves. In the moment, it felt like a mystery. Perhaps you tried to mend things, questioned what went wrong, or even felt abandoned. The impulse to search for answers can be overwhelming. However, as time passes and you gain perspective, you might realize that this separation was a necessary part of your personal development. It gave you the space to grow, to reevaluate your priorities, and to focus on things that would propel you toward new opportunities. In life, God often works in mysterious ways. We may not understand why a relationship falls apart, but later we can look back and see that this change was instrumental in shaping who we are today. Imagine going through a painful breakup or drifting away from someone who was once close to you. At the time, you may have been consumed by questions like, why did this happen? What did I do wrong? It's easy to feel like something's missing or that you're somehow incomplete without that connection. But it's often in these moments of loss that God teaches us valuable lessons, resilience, patience, and the ability to find peace within ourselves. Such experiences also have a way of preparing us for better relationships in the future. By letting go of what's no longer serving us, we create space for something more meaningful to come into our lives. Through the pain of separation, we learn to become more self-sufficient and emotionally strong. We build resilience by navigating through hardship, and this emotional strength makes us better equipped to handle future relationships with wisdom and grace. The most challenging moments in relationships are often the ones that lead us to discover who we truly are and what we're capable of. Sometimes, by letting go of control and trusting that God has a greater plan, we open ourselves up to deeper personal growth and more fulfilling connections down the road. Main point 7. God places you in challenging relationships for growth. Not all relationships are easy, and the ones that challenge us the most are often the ones that shape us into better versions of ourselves. These difficult connections are not just random encounters. They often have a deeper purpose in our lives. While we may wish for smooth, uncomplicated relationships, it's often in the most challenging ones that we discover our true potential. Many believe that God places us in relationships, both good and bad, to help us grow in ways we couldn't achieve on our own. These challenging interactions are like hidden lessons, teaching us important virtues such as compassion, patience, forgiveness, and resilience. When life feels hard, it's easy to question why certain people enter our lives, especially those who seem to test our patience or push us to our limits. But if we look closely, we might realize that these are the very people who are refining us, helping us build strength and understanding. Take a moment to reflect on someone in your life who has hurt you or tested your limits. Perhaps it's a friend who betrayed your trust, a family member who constantly judges, or a colleague who challenges your every move. While these people may have caused pain, it's possible that in their presence you've developed qualities that wouldn't have blossomed otherwise. For instance, that betrayal might have taught you the power of forgiveness and the importance of letting go of grudges. You may have learned how to set boundaries, recognize your worth, and prioritize your well-being. Imagine a toxic friend or a difficult colleague. In the heat of frustration, it might seem easier to cut ties and move on. But by facing these situations head-on, you might find that you've learned something profound. Conflict resolution skills, the ability to speak up for yourself without fear, and grace under pressure are all valuable lessons we gain through dealing with difficult people. Each moment spent navigating these tricky relationships can strengthen our emotional intelligence, helping us interact more thoughtfully in future connections. It's important to remember that not all relationships are meant to last forever, but every challenging relationship holds a lesson. The key is to approach these situations with an open heart, ready to learn. By practicing patience, forgiveness, and empathy, we not only heal ourselves but become better equipped to help others in their own struggles. After all, it's in the most difficult moments that we are often the most transformed. Through God's guidance, we are made stronger, more compassionate, and more resilient, one challenging relationship at a time. To wrap up, remember that every person you meet, every relationship you have, and every encounter you experience has meaning. Whether it's teaching you a lesson, providing support, or challenging you to become better, God might have placed you in their life, and them in yours, for a divine purpose. So the next time you find yourself questioning why certain people are in your life, take a moment to pause and consider, what if you're both there for a reason? If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and share this with someone who might need to hear it. Let's continue to explore life's bigger picture together. Until next time, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos for more deep dives into life's questions. And remember, everything happens for a reason.